Imagine a young man, barely in his 20s, who dared to challenge the mighty British Empire. This was Birsa Munda, a tribal leader from the heart of India who became a legend in his own time. Birsa Munda wasn't a king or a wealthy landlord. He was a man of the people, a true son of the soil. He understood the struggles of his people, the tribal communities who called the forests their home. Birsa Munda's story is not just about fighting for freedom from British rule. It's also about preserving the unique culture and identity of the tribal people. He dreamt of a world where his people could live with dignity and respect, free from exploitation and oppression. Birsa Munda's legacy continues to inspire generations of Indians, reminding us of the courage and resilience of the human spirit. His story is a reminder that even the most powerful empires can be challenged by the will of the people. Birsa Munda's life and struggle offer valuable lessons in courage, determination, and the fight for justice. His story is an inspiration to us all, urging us to stand up for what we believe in and fight for a better tomorrow. Before the British came, tribal communities in India lived in harmony with nature. They were the original inhabitants of the land, respecting the forests, rivers, and mountains as sacred. These communities, like the Santhal, Munda, and Oran tribes, followed a unique way of life. They lived in villages nestled amidst forests, their lives deeply intertwined with the rhythms of nature. Their homes were simple, often made of mud and bamboo, blending seamlessly with the surrounding environment. Food came from the forests and their fields, cultivated using traditional methods like jam or shifting cultivation. Jam cultivation involved clearing small patches of forest to grow crops, a sustainable practice that allowed the forest to regenerate. Life was not always easy, of course. They faced challenges from wild animals, changing seasons, and intertribal conflicts. Yet, they had their own unique ways of resolving disputes and maintaining harmony within their communities. They had their own systems of governance, their own laws and customs, and their own rich traditions of music, dance, and storytelling. The arrival of the British East India Company brought about significant changes in the lives of the tribal communities. The British, with their ambition for wealth and power, viewed the forests as resources to be exploited, not revered. They introduced new laws and policies that disrupted the traditional way of life of the tribal people. One such policy was the introduction of a new land revenue system. The British declared themselves as the owners of the forests and demanded taxes from the tribal communities for using their own land. This system, unfamiliar and unjust to the tribes, led to exploitation and displacement from their ancestral lands. To make matters worse, the British encouraged outsiders, called Dikus by the tribals, to settle in tribal areas. These Dikus were often moneylenders and landlords who took advantage of the tribal people's lack of awareness about British laws. They tricked them into signing unfair agreements, leading to further loss of land and resources for the tribal communities. Birsa Munda emerged as a beacon of hope during these troubled times. Born into the Munda tribe, Birsa witnessed the hardships faced by his people under British rule. He saw how their lands were being taken away, their forests destroyed, and their traditions disregarded. Birsa refused to stand by and watch his people suffer. He possessed a rare charisma and a deep understanding of his people's traditions and beliefs. Birsa started rallying his people, urging them to unite against the injustices inflicted upon them. He spoke out against the exploitation of the tribal people by the British and their Indian collaborators. Birsa's message resonated with the tribal communities, who saw in him a leader who understood their plight. His vision was clear. He dreamt of a golden age for the tribal people, free from oppression and exploitation, where they would live with dignity and self-respect. He urged his people to hold on to their traditions, their language, and their connection to their land. Birsa Munda's movement though ultimately suppressed by the British, left an indelible mark on the Indian freedom struggle. Though only in his 20s when he died in a British jail, his courage and sacrifice became an inspiration for countless others. He became a symbol of tribal resistance and the fight for justice. Birsa Munda's legacy extends beyond his fight against British rule. He is remembered as a champion of tribal rights and identity. Birsa Munda's struggle paved the way for greater awareness and recognition of the rights of indigenous communities in India. His story is a testament to the power of one person to make a difference. Even today, Birsa Munda's life and message continue to inspire people to fight for a just and equitable society. If you are eager to learn more about Birsa Munda and his remarkable story, don't hesitate to reach out.